So we look at lesson 1 in this module called Introduction to React. And what is a React? You must have heard that there's a framework or a library or programming language called React. So React is not a programming language, but rather React is a library, is a JavaScript library which is used for building user interface or the UI. So it creates single page applications, and what we mean by single page applications is that once you're using React to build your front end, then you are only going to have one HTML page, and any of the UI will be displayed or rendered within that one HTML file. So we will see how that happens just now when we create a React application. So React was created by Facebook to be used primarily for creating UI components or the user interface, the front-end user interface component. And sometimes you might hear React also being called React.js. So it is the same thing. React or React.js is the same thing. So React works by creating a virtual DOM or a virtual document object model in the memory instead of using the browser DOM. And the prerequisite for learning React, I want to believe that for you to be able to understand React and to write it, you must have understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And that is what we've just learned. I assumed because before we started, I asked you if you have an understanding of HTML and CSS. And now we have just done basics of JavaScript. So I believe we are good to start off with the React library. And you must also have installed Node.js for you to be able to create React apps. And I believe each one of you has already installed Node.js. So if we have done that, then let's look at lesson 2 on how we can create our first React app and how we can run it, and what do we mean by a single page application. So to create a React app, we follow these steps to set up and create the React app. So the first thing is you have to create a folder where you are going to save your project or where you are going to save your code. So all your code, you must put it within one particular folder. After you've created that folder, you want to open the folder in the VS Code in a new window. Then you are going to open the command or the terminal, and you're going to run the command npx create react app, and then you give the app name. And then after creating the app, it will take some time to download the libraries, and then it will create the default application for you. And once you have the app created, you can now run the app using the command npm start. Alright, so let us take a practical example to see if we can create a basic React application. So I'm going to open a new window. So now I have two windows of Visual Studio open. I want to open a third window. Alright, so let me close this to avoid so many tabs. So I want to open a new window. Now here I have a new window. I want to go to the desktop or any folder and create an empty folder where I will be keeping my project React project files. So I come here on my desktop and let me create a new file, a new folder, and call it React app, and call it React app. So I'm going to create that folder on the desktop. Then I come in Visual Studio, I open that folder. So we are just following these steps. We have created the folder. We now need to open a folder in a new tab, in a new window I mean. So how do you open that folder? Click on the File tab and then open a folder. So when you open that folder, you go to the desktop and you're going to see this folder we've created called React app. So once the folder opens, VS Code is going to ask you if you trust this folder or if you trust the contents of this folder. So you just click yes, and you're going to click this, close this one here. Now we have this folder called React app. Now it is empty without any code files. Let us create the React app. How do we create React app? We open the terminal and we use the command npx create hyphen react hyphen app, then space, we give the app name. So let us say the app we are going to create is called blog app, because I have written on our group the capstone project that we are going to create is a blogging website. It's a simple blogging website or a blogging platform that will allow users to sign up and log in and then create posts. They can edit posts, they can delete posts, and they can also view all the blog posts. They can like and they can comment on a post. So this is what we will be building as our final project by week 4. And let's start by building this website from here. So let us call this app blog app. Then after you type this command, you press enter. Once you press enter, React is going to take some time to install some packages and install some dependencies. So it will download them from the internet, from the React repository, then set up this project. So it will take you some few minutes or seconds if your internet is very fast for it to complete this process. So you can see it is saying here installing packages. This might take a couple of minutes, and then it is installing React DOM, it is installing React script and other templates. So let's give it some few time. In the meantime, if you have a question to ask, you can ask as it is loading the dependencies. So it is still loading. You can as well try the same process on your computer if you have your computer near you, and see if it is giving you the same thing. In case of a challenge, raise a question. Who has tried so far on their computer at the moment as we are progressing? Anyone who has tried? This is taking some more time. I guess it is a slow network, or anyone who has tried to run the same command? Chari, umejaribu?
I haven't.
Okay. I think mine is almost complete. Downloading the resources, dependencies. Yeah, this is taking a lot of minutes. Yeah. Yep, it's almost done. So it's saying installing template dependencies using npm. At least there's some progress. You can see it tells it has added 1323 packages in 10 minutes. 269 packages are looking for funding. That's from the React community. Right, that's almost there. Yep. So it has created, it has downloaded all the required dependencies. All right. So you can see this one of mine is taking a quite longer time. I think 10 to 15 minutes, and I think that's because of slow network. But ideally, it should take between 3 to 5 minutes to download if the network is really very fast. All right. So when you type the command npx, when you type this command npx create React app, and then you give the app name, then it is going to download all the required dependencies, the dependencies that are required for your application to run. And once it is downloaded, it will create the app for you. And once it creates the app for you, it is even going to give you the command to start the app. So it will tell you, type the command npm start, so that you can start the development server. This development server is like the live server we have been talking about. So once you are working with the React app, you now have default development server that comes with the React app, and instead of using the live server, you can use this development server. All right. So now it creates the React app for you, and when you come to this folder right on the left hand side, you can see that there is another new folder which has been added called the block app, and this folder is normally given the name which we have given to our app. So if we have called our app block name, whatever name we have given here is the same name that this folder will be called. So when you expand this folder down here, you will see that there are these files and folders which have been created by default by just by running this command. So it will create these folders, and when you go, the first file that I want us to look at is this file called the package.json. So this file called package.json contains this information about the app. For example, the app name, which we have given blog name. It contains the app version. So the initial version is normally 0.1.0. Then it contains whether your app is private or not. And then it contains the dependency section. So the dependencies are all these dependencies that have been downloaded here. Then it contains the script section. So you can see now we have this script called start script, the build script, the test script, the inject script. So we will look on each of these scripts later in the next coming lessons. And then it has this development section, and it contains the dependencies section. So any dependencies that you download will be added here. For example, when you look at your console here, you can see that once you run the command npx create react app, it is telling you here it is installing react app, react dom, react scripts. And when you look in this dependencies section, you can see that it is this one here. So we have the react dependency, we have the react dom dependency, then we have the react scripts, and we have the web vitals. All right, so all dependencies will be added within this section called dependencies. Then we have this file, not file but the folder called src. Within the src, when you expand it, you will see you have one file called app.js. So app.js is the one that contains the HTML and a mixture of HTML and JavaScript code. So this is what will be displayed once we run this code. Then we have this file called index.js. Index.js is the starting point of the application. So when we run the application, it will start from this file, and then it will load the other files. Then another important file is when you expand this folder called public, you're going to see that we have one file called index.html. So in all your application, you will only have one single HTML file, which is the index.html. And that's why we are saying that React applications are single page applications, because they only have one single HTML file which will display all the content that we will be, or all the pages that we will be developing. So after creating this React app, let us start it so that we can be able to view the result of this web app in the browser. How do we start a React app? We type the command npm start, and then you press enter. So when you press enter, it will tell you there is an error. It is telling you it is missing the script start. The reasons why it is telling you is that because we are not in the project folder. So you see right now when I collapse this, we have the root folder, which is a React app, and then within the root folder we have the subfolder which is called the block app. So when you expand this block app is when you will see the code files. So we need to navigate to make sure that we are inside the block app before we run the command npm start. So to navigate, we use the command cd. Let me clear this by typing the command clear. Then I'm going to type the command cd and then block up. So when I type cd block up, I have now navigated to the new folder, to this folder which contains the code. Then after I'm in this folder, I can now type the command npm start to start this React app, then press enter. So you can see it is telling you block app version 0.1.0 is starting, and then it is starting this script. It's starting the development server, which is like the live server. And once it is opened, it will open automatically this in this new browser tab. And it's taking some time to load the app. Now it loads the app. Now you can see it, your app is running on localhost port 300. If you remember the concept of ports, which we talked about it in the introduction or fundamentals of internet and the World Wide Web. So now this React app is running on port 300, and this is the basic app. So when you create a new React app without modifying anything, it comes with this React logo, and then below it here it comes with this text, and then it comes with this link. All right, so that's how a React app is created. So you just simply run the command npx create React app. After it is created, you type npm start to run the app. So now after it runs successfully, you can now change this content. The content that is displayed here can be changed. So you can change this content to your own content depending on your layout. For example, let us say for our block app, let us change this text and let us change the link text. So to change this one here, you will come to your app.js. So app.js is where you can see this text. So you can see in this app.js we have a function called app, and then it returns this HTML. And when you look at this HTML, it has one image, which is the logo. It has one paragraph, which has this text. So let us change this to something, for example, and we say welcome to our blog post, or welcome to our blogging page. We can even add one paragraph, one header. Header 1, and say blogging platform. And then let's change the link text, say contact us at blogging So you save the changes. So once you save the changes, it will automatically update here to whatever you have added. All right, so that is how you run basically a React app. Of course, we have just created a basic React app. We will now look on how to modify it so that we can have something like this page here. you can add your navigation header, you add your forms and whatever you want to add. So I will pause here and give room for questions. In case you have a question where you have not understood, we can clarify. Any question? Winnie, Winifred, Samuel, Thomas, Calvins, Uchari. Any question about setting up and starting a React app? Alright, I will share the link to the video. Alright. So if we are okay, then I will want us to pause here. So then maybe I will give an assignment at your own time so that you practice. So you can go on your own time and follow these same steps to create your own React app until you start it, until you are at this point where you're able to run it and display it in this manner. Then when we meet tomorrow, we pick up from there and we explain what happens behind the background once you type the command npm start, and understand the steps in running the React app. Then we continue from there. Unless someone has a question, I will share the video clip as well as the notes so that you can be able to follow the instructions on the notes. Any question, Anifa? Alright, if no question, then we can have a good night.